what we like to do is we like to let kids name their instrument. So I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to let every student just tell us your instrument's name. Are you all ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. So, up next, Dr. Silver is going to demo some of the supplies we need to be successful, and then we're going to play some songs for you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, it's really important for everyone who plays the violin to have a shoulder rest. And most students do. Can you show a shoulder rest? So there might be a couple of students here and there that might not have one. So if your student doesn't have a shoulder rest, we recommend like a bed rest because it's very affordable and it works very well. Second place to get them, there's a local music store called the Secure Shop. And Amazon has supplies, Amazon has got everything. And then for the cello. So since the cello basically round, it's nice to have a rock stop to keep the cello from sliding. Or if you prefer, I always like to have a piece. We use the chairs and attach the chair. I guess it does. Both because teaching your students to learn music is very important. And last one, it's a tuner. A tuner just helps clip onto the instrument and help your students learn how to tune them. Next thing I'm going to do is a program called Echo.
So one thing that we're going to see as parents, you ever watch a child practice and you want to help us help them, there's some postures that we can look for to help them, hey, we're not in this position, right? So we started off with the 0.5 position, not 5, half position. So everyone's going to sit up straight and tall, right? And they got the first third of their seat. So you all sit up just straight and tall in your seat. And what I like to say is sticky feet. When I say sticky feet, their feet go flat on the floor. Ready? Sticky feet. Nice. All right. After that, we go to step 1. Instruments or violins and violas. Our violin or viola is going to be on our left side of our lap. Okay? With our duck, bill, fold, and upper right. Just like that. Cellos, as you can see, our cellos are in our first position here. Our cellos are on the floor with the infant on the floor with their instrument right up in front. Okay, so from there we go to step 2. So violins, violas. Our duck mouths are going to go up. We're going to use our right hand underneath and cradle the instrument. Very good. Then we're going to hold it right there. Okay. Cellos, what we're going to do for step 2 is that our instrument is going to go straight into our chest, about kind of like that sternum. The one thing we're looking for is that it's going to be on our left side. The scrolls on the other side with the pruning pegs for the Bible. Okay, so that's our step 2. Step 3, violins, violas, you're going to turn your instrument upside down. Very good. You're going to go ahead and place it into your left side on your left shoulder, about the flat. And jellos are going to go ahead and give her a nice hug. Right? Give her a nice hug. And there we go. So then all we're going to do is we're going to get our right hands in position. You take your right hand, you make an L, and you put it on the side of the fingerboard. So right there. Excellent. So that is our playing position right there. So if you see anything while your child is playing that looks kind of weird, tell them to go into a regular playing position. We want that good posture. That's going to result in better play. So that's that for our positioning. All right. So now we're going to play some music.
What song do they play? This song just got there.
This song helps us learn the names of all of our open streams. So it's really helpful for us to learn where's Vicari? Up next, Vicari is going to come up and he's going to tell us a little bit about some of the vocabulary that we've already learned in orchestra. Vicari, what can you tell us about the word pizzicato?
Pizzicato means basically to understand.
That's because almost everything we do in orchestra, the words for our techniques are Italian. So pizzicato means perform. So if you hear them say, I'm playing this pizzicato, or even I'm playing this, what was the weird short word we used? Do you remember? Pits. That's right. So they're not talking like pits. We're going to pluck the string, okay? So our next song we're going to play for you is a classic. It's called the Dad Song. Let's get ready for the Dad Song. You believe like 3 weeks ago we were learning how to hold it, and now we're already making music. We should be so proud of all these folks on stage. Okay. So now we're going to talk a little bit about how you can help your child at home. So your child's success in orchestra will greatly depend on what they do at home rather than what we do in school. Since we only get to see your students 2 days a week, we get to see them about 40 minutes each time we're there, but then you have to uncase and tune. We get about 25, 30 minutes each class to actually learn, so that's an hour a week. So that means we need to be practicing at home the things that we did in class. That's where you're going to come in big time. How can you help your child practice? learning takes place in school, and then the proficiency takes place at home. So they'll learn the thing at school. Oh, it won't sound great at school. They'll be like, oh, well, I wasn't great at this, but I learned how to do it. And then they'll go home, and that's when you make it sound really nice. So the first thing you can do to help your child is have a time schedule. Try to have a time of day that you're like, this is when we practice. This is a great time for us. Make it a time that you know that your child learns well and that works with them. Try to make it something that maybe at the end you can reward them in some way. I bet you can get creative, but a consistent time schedule. We like to tell fifth grade students that 2 hours of outside of school practice time a week will normally keep you on track. So like 4 days for a 30-minute chunk or something like that is a really great way to do it. And then you got 3 days, like, yeah, take the weekend or whatever you need to do for your family. The environment that you set up for your child to practice is really important. Try to set up an environment where there's as few distractions as possible. So practicing in the TV room normally isn't the best. Practicing in the bedroom can be okay if, it's a conducive place. So just think through your household. I can tell you my son, he practices in the kitchen. Not so much because it's the least distracting, but because that's where we have a chair that works for him. So he's a cellist, and you can't sit in a cushy chair and play. So you want to kind of think through, okay, where can I get a chair that's going to work, and where is not too many distractions. Number 3 is so important, encouragement. Encouragement. I bet I don't have to tell you guys to encourage your kid, right? You already encourage your kid? Yes, I know you are. So, whenever your child comes home excited to play, let them play. Even if you're like, wow, that kind of sounds like music. You want to encourage them because we're starting, right? And everybody before we can run has to walk, and before we walk and crawl. Before we crawl, we gotta belly walk for a while. Right? We're gonna do some belly walk with that sort of thing, just a little bit, and you'll be surprised at the end of the year how great they sound if you continue to encourage them at home. Encourage them to keep making sound. Encourage them to work through when it doesn't sound good. We have a lot of high schoolers and directors here. High schoolers and directors, has there ever been a time when you didn't sound good? Yeah, so that's just part of it, right? So encourage them to get through that. And then the last thing you're going to look for is my student progressing? Like every couple of weeks, just say hey, can you play for me what you've been working on in class? Right? You want to hear them. They want to play for you. And it really creates a great community within our whole orchestra whenever we're all making music for each other. So those are just a few quick ways that you can help your child be successful right out of the gate in learning orchestra. Our next thing we're going to play for you, y'all like the blues? Yes, I like the blues too. See, so we're going to do the blues, and this is the open string blues. Here we go, fifth grade. Let's go to playing position number 3. You're all the way up in playing position, and we're listening for our clips.